There's a milkman waiting in the sky. He likes to deliver dairy so long as it's homogenized. There's a milkman waiting in the sky. He drives a run-down milk float and his milk's been pasteurized. He told me, let the bovines moo it, let the bovines chew it, let all the bovines boogie. Da 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 da.
Hello and welcome to another Game Nexus Mame review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ninja Baseball Batman. This game was released in 1993 by Irem, and it features 4 different baseball characters. Your first one is Captain Jose, Twin Bats, Renault, Beanball, the other guy there, and then there was the Straw, who was the 4th guy. Basically, your gist of the story here is that several artifacts have been stolen from a baseball museum, and you have to get them back as the Ninja Baseball Batman, if you will. And I know a lot of people, when they first heard of this game, which of course a lot of people heard of this when James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, did his video and told everyone about it. But the weird part about this is you hear it and you think, well, you really don't know what to think, but it's a beat-em-up game with a baseball theme. I thought to myself when I first played this, it feels like they took a beat-em-up game, they took a baseball game, they took the boring baseball gameplay out, and this is what you're left with. And honestly, of all arcade games, especially of 1993 or around that time, this game has to have some of the best animations. And when I captured this footage, I captured it up at like a much higher resolution than this game initially ran at. This game only runs at 320 by 240, which really isn't much considering today's 1080p 1920 by 1080 resolutions. But yeah, the graphics stay nice and sharp even when they're brought up to a higher resolution. But you'll notice all kinds of different enemies here, like these green baseballs. There's various different color baseballs, even ones with their own little jetpacks that do all kinds of different attacks. Now, basically, what Mame's History.dat said about this is that it was an abstract and colorful side-scrolling beat-em-up in which one of 4 players control a team of robotic ninjas who must fight their way through a variety of levels, defeating the game's many enemies. The enemies themselves are based entirely around the sport of baseball, taking the form of baseballs, catcher's mitts, bats, etc. This ran on Irem's M92 system arcade hardware. And just as Angry Video Nerd said, sadly there was only 43 of these units ever brought to America when it was released in September of '93. In Japan, this game was actually called Yaku Kakuto League Man. And here is the plane, also called Windy Plane, that you fight. And the crazy thing here, of course, is that you're facing a plane on a plane. And your 4 characters here have 4 different styles. Your first character, Captain Jose, he has the balanced, not too going toward like speed or reach or power or anything in any direction. Then you have the second character, Renault here. He's your speed character. The third character, of course, is the larger character. You'll see him soon. He is your he's right behind Captain Jose there. He's the power character. He's a little bit slower, but he has much more powerful attacks. Then the final character, Straw. Well, actually, that yellow guy, he was Roger. I just remember that from my play of this game. And then the final character, Straw, he's the character with the furthest reach. Kind of like your Donatello character of the game that has a further reach. But of course, he makes up for that he's not as quick, but not as slow as Roger. And I still found these like some of the weirdest characters in the game. So they're kind of like these baseball players with jack-o'-lanterns as their heads. And whenever I get on any kind of bridge, it always reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe it was the Manhattan Project where you were on the bridge. And I think Turtles in Time did this as well, but I always think of the Manhattan Project because it was a game that I played a lot when I was young. And a lot of things always remind me of that. Like, another thing in this game, like you'll see I just did one of the moves right there, is when you press both the jump and attack button at the same time, you'll do a special move. When you're on the ground, it'll be like a really wide bat swing. Well, some of the characters, when you're in the air, they'll do like a move like Renault does here when he jumps and he spins his bats. But just like in Ninja Turtles The Manhattan Project on Nintendo, that move actually takes a little bit of life away, so you have to use it sparingly if you were playing this in a real arcade and you were actually paying real quarters, not the digital quarters you use here in Mame, to actually play the game. Now, just like many arcade games, this used an 8-way joystick, and as I had just mentioned, 2 attack buttons, the attack and the jump. So it actually was a pretty simplistic game when it came to how it controlled, but as you can see me playing here, it's a very fun game. And just a really recap here, you had, as I'd mentioned earlier, Captain Jose. In Japan, he's known as Captain Red. Then we have Twin Bats Renault, who I'm playing as right now. He's also known as Twin Bats Green in Japan. Then there's Beanball Roger, the big, powerful guy, also known as Beanball Yellow in Japan. And then Stick Straw, who's also known as Stick Blue in Japan. You're a long-reach character. And yeah, I definitely have to agree with James Rolfe on this one. It's really sad that a lot of people never heard about this game at all. And I can honestly imagine this would probably be really fun if you had 4 players to play all along with. And yeah, as you go on in this game, the enemies just get crazier and crazier, and sometimes on the screen there's so much stuff blowing up at once that it's just crazy, really. And yeah, basically a lot of your characters, as you can see, were based on baseballs, various mutations and different versions of them. And that's one part I didn't quite understand. You sometimes saw Renault here, his like bat would like get all struck with lightning, and then you would like get a powerful attack, but I never quite knew what actually did that. And now here is Roger, Beanball Roger. He's your more power hitter because he's a little bit slower, but he has the more attack power. And now here's more of these jack-o'-lantern guys. And you noticed earlier when I was fighting those smoke things, one never got my face, but accidentally it actually happened there. So that's what actually happens, is you kind of jump all around and he's screaming and yelling about it. And as you notice in the last stage, every time you're up to a boss battle, it'll have those horns come out and it'll go do-do-do-do like that. And then you face one of the game's many bosses. And in total in this game, there are 7 stages. This is our stage 2 boss, this crazy dune buggy with blue lips, and it kind of shoots these little engine things. Now, whenever you see those garbage cans, the thing to keep in mind, they have like power-ups in them, so you want them so they give you some life back, or give you a weapon to attack with. Like these little home plates that you can throw, or these pipes, which is a pipe bomb that sets the thing on fire, which is a really good power-up when it comes to playing the game. And I always find it crazy when any kind of enemy does that, where like the mouth comes out and it like zooms at you like that. And one thing I definitely have to say about this game is the actual music is very good in this game. Yeah, and every time, as you can see, when you face a stage, you end up finishing the stage and finding one of those baseball artifacts that was stolen. And now here's one of the bonus stages. Neither of the bonus stages was I able to get to the, like, fill up the meter. I'm not sure if that's the object or not, but I'd guess you get some kind of bonus because it seems like the thing goats you on when you don't. See, it kind of laughs at you there, so I would figure it would probably, like, cheer you on if you actually won. Now this is the Las Vegas level, so there's a lot of like gambling references, like cards and stuff here. This is level 3. And you notice the characters turn red. That means you're about to die. But just like in Ninja Turtles Manhattan Project on Nintendo, if you were to do your like pressing both buttons attack, you can keep on doing it because your character's not going to die from doing an attack, but if you keep doing that, you only have like a little bit of health left, so you will die if you get like hit once. And I was actually looking at some sketches of the original concept sketches, because this guy actually has a website about Ninja Baseball Batman, which I'll probably link in the description, which is actually at www.ninjabaseballbatman.com. And he actually has some of the like original concept sketches, and it looks like the original idea of the characters might have been like human characters, but I'm guessing eventually they made them into the robot Ninja Baseball Batman characters. And like all the original art like easily looks like, had this become like really popular, it could have been like a comic book or even like an anime or cartoon show. I think that this Ninja Baseball Batman property sadly was very underused because it was such a like overlooked game by just about anybody until like really recently. And here's more of these cards. I really hate the cards that like shoot the fists at you, because it seems like I always had not quite enough health, and then one of the cards got shot at me, and then I would die, of course. And I always found these little robots a little bit weird. Like if you did a certain hit, you actually could knock their heads off. But yeah, they're really strange. And as you saw there, there was like more of the different kinds of baseballs. And more of these robots I was just talking about a second ago. And as you would imagine, because this game was so overlooked, there's not really all that much information about it. So it's not like I have so much to talk about in this as compared to a lot of my reviews, but the animation is excellent, the soundtrack is great. I could have easily seen this be like a Sega CD port with the full Red Book audio, and it probably would have even sounded better than it does here. Of course, sadly, as we know, the Sega CD would have taken a bit of a hit when it came to the color palette, because it couldn't display as many colors on the screen at once. And the cool part about that Ninja Baseball Batman site I was mentioning, it has actually a full history and Q&A with the creator of the game, which was done in a magazine called Game Room in 2010, telling about how the game was actually made. And I always like any of these Las Vegas stages in a video game where like you're actually like fighting on a gambling table, and you see the little balls in the back actually like in the gambling areas. I just think that's really cool. And now just notice that thing that kind of looks like an umpire. Those things seem sometimes to be easy. Sometimes in the later levels they actually got pretty hard, which was really kind of weird. And if you don't see those things like with the cats coming behind you, they'll really hurt you a lot because they can hit you quite a few times in like the scope of just a few seconds. And here's some more slot machines. When I first got here, the reason I'm going all crazy on them, and I thought I'd actually be able to use the slot machines, but it turns out there's just a backdrop for this slot machine final boss, which is the defending slot here. And I can honestly tell you, the whole time I was playing this level, I did not notice those showgirl baseballs in the background until I'm now seeing this footage again. I guess it's one of those things that I was like so concentrated on the boss, I just really overlooked it. But yeah, as you can see, the graphics in this game are just really more detailed than you'd think they would be in 1993. But as James Rolfe had said, I could easily see this like as an Xbox Live Arcade game, or if Nintendo made it into like a WiiWare game, or even a PlayStation Network game. And what would be awesome is if they did what had happened with the 1989 arcade game Ninja Turtles on the Xbox Live Arcade, and gave it a 4-player online co-op, which really was cool because you could play Ninja Turtles arcade game with your friends online. And that would be really fun for this, considering as it's the dead horse has been beaten to death by now. This game is just so overlooked and not many people have seen it, and as you can see, it's a really colorful and fun game, and I would really highly recommend Ninja Baseball Batman to anybody who's ever liked arcade beat-em-up games, because it's just a really enjoyable game, and it's just a really fun play for any fan of beat-em-up games, baseball in general. You might like all the little subtle references to baseball. So yeah, it really pleases just about anybody. Well, that's my main review for Ninja Baseball Batman. I'll be posting a video with the rest of my playthrough, the last 4 levels of this, within the next couple days here. And once it's posted, I'll just post the link in the description. That's been another Game Nexus main review, and I shall see you later.